quick, I just want to point it out, like, this isn't just happening to me or other black girls. Like, this is happening to a lot of other women in the club. Like, the lady who I'm really close with who works inside the club, she's telling me that there's girls leaving out of the club crying, like in tears, because they're not making money. They can't feed their families. So it's not just happening to me, it's happening to other women as well. So let's see what happens.
This is literally my third day in a row coming to Crazy Horse, and it's currently 12 a.m. and it is vacant in here. All the girls is in the back, and we ain't got nobody in here at this point.
People always say they want to be a dancer. No, you do not. No, you don't. Don't ever say that. It is not as easy as it looks. Like, I wish I had a job like y'all. I wish I had a job like y'all. This stuff is mentally draining. It takes a lot out of you. You're literally dancing all freaking night long. You have to invest money into making money with everything that you do, but just this alone is a lot of freaking money. You have to stay pretty, y'all. It's a lot of money. Girls know. Y'all know. You do not want to be a dancer, babe. This stuff is hard. Mentally hard. Draining. Don't say that. You don't want to be a dancer. I want a job like y'all. Give me a job that pays good enough for me to work like y'all.
A guy tried to film a what I make in a night as a dancer, but it was a flop. I had went on stage 3 times and made $0.
You guys, I'm so mad because this was supposed to be a fucking video where I show you guys the potential of how much money I could make on Friday, and I've been here for 5 hours and I've made fucking nothing. I've made nothing. It's been 5 hours and I've made nothing, and I literally have like 2 brain cells left, and I'm really about to just fucking go home. Like, I'm sorry to be a crybaby about it, but I am all ready. It took me hours to get ready, and this is just the reality of stripping. Okay, so I'll try again next time for you guys. I'm so sorry.
The reason why the strip clubs are declining heavily today is because sex work is overly saturated in today's society. Finding a female who will be able to give you her body is more accessible than ever before. That was really the small, unique pocket of society where finding promiscuous, provocative females wasn't really as attainable as it is today. The strip club also is centered around men. So if men are becoming disinterested and men are no longer finding any use in being a part of that underbelly, it loses its value. And that's really what we're seeing. We're seeing men's standards, men's perspective on hookup culture, provocative females, and really what they want to prioritize is no longer around females, is no longer around intercourse, and is more centered on themselves. And that's essentially why the value of these strip clubs are declining as well.
Being a stripper has made me see money so differently. When I was just starting to dance, my first really good night that I felt in the moment was so good. I was so excited and happy. It was like about $400. I was so happy because that was almost my rent at the time. I had like 3 roommates. There was 4 of us living there besides the plane. Now I make that much and I am like in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood that night, the next day. Like, it really makes you feel like 400 is nothing in comparison to what you've had to like do and go through your body, your mental, everything for $400. And like, I'm aware to most people that's a lot of money. Like, that is a lot of money. But after you've made $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 and you're tired, you've been in this long enough, you've done this so many times, you know what you're doing, going hard on stage, like you are dancing like nobody's business, you are hurting your body, getting super sore the next day, like your body hurts from all these tricks you're doing, and nobody's tipping. Nobody's tipping. People are watching. For free. Nobody's tipping you. You get glam. You go out there. You kind of get harassed sometimes. You can get sexually assaulted. You deal with some really bad people drama. It makes you pissed when you go home with $400. And I'm just using $400 as an example. Like, there are nights where you make way less than that. $100. Sometimes you owe the club money. You leave with nothing. But yeah, tonight was just one of those nights where it was a Friday night. I was expecting it to be very good. And it was very mid. $500 on a Friday. But in these moments, I just have to remind myself of that first time I made that $400 on a day shift. And I was the happiest girl. Like, after you make that first chunk of money, everything changes. Everything changes.
There's a reason why so many dancers are telling new girls not to join the industry right now, and it's not from a place of trying to be discouraging or trying to be a hater or whatnot. It's just genuinely so different now. It's genuinely not the same in such a negative way. The economy is so much worse than it's ever been. It's so much harder to, and I'm going to make a blanket statement that about 80 to 90% of the clubs, especially in big cities, are brothels now. Guys can come in and that's what they're paying for. Hosts are working with the girls, and that's what it is. That's genuinely, and that's not me shaming anybody or looking down on them, but it's like a lot of girls join the industry not realizing that's what it is. And that's really what you're going against now, especially in these gentlemen's clubs in bigger cities, right? And a lot of these girls that make I made this much, it's because they're doing more. I promise you. It's not all of them, but a majority of them it's not just from dancing. I can assure you that. And like I said, it's not me judging anybody or putting them down or whatever, however anybody wants to make their money. But I just think a lot of new girls come into it naive, thinking, oh, it's going to be this one way. And that's not the reality anymore. The economy's bad. People are not spending as much. Girls are having to travel. Girls are having to, maneuver and find new ways to make money, whatever it is. But it's not the time. I would say it is not the best time to join. And that's why people are saying that. It's not trying to be a hater or trying to be discouraging. It's just, why would you want to join? You might as well go chase your dreams.
More I listen to females, more I begin to realize they are always using shaming tactics to manipulate men into spending more money. The first thing that she mentions is the economy, reason being for these strip clubs declining. Now, the economy is affecting everyone. That's not the main reason why the strip clubs are declining. The main reason is it's no longer seen as a status symbol. Historically, men have been known who are wealthier to have concubines and mistresses. Those type of females were essentially more so to be around men with status, wealth, or even royalty. That's where that status symbols come from. That's around we can say the early 90s or before that, when the strip club was on its rise. It was rappers, athletes spending hundreds and thousands of money on strip clubs because it has always been a symbolic for men with wealth or status. Today, it no longer is because you females are throwing your nyash to every man.
People don't talk about how when you're an exotic dancer, it literally it's a sick game that plays with your mind, because when you have a great night, you're like, yeah, like this is it. But what about the bad nights? What about the nights where you don't make anything? And I mean, just being realistic, like I know a lot of girls want to be like, oh, they always hit. You don't always hit. Sometimes you do, in fact, have a bad night. And it's just like a cat and mouse game that's never ending, because that adrenaline you get when you have that great night is just an undeniable feeling. It's almost like you sold, and that's why I feel like dancing is literally the epitome of the female version of a hustler, because that adrenaline you get when you have that really good night and that money is flying in the air and all over you and you hit big, but like it's just an undeniable feeling. It feels great, and you just continue to chase that feeling, Your
folks know you doing this out here on Bissonnette?
Yeah.
Selling.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
It ain't no secret.
Yeah, it ain't no secret.
Mm-mm.
So did you ever consider like doing something safer like dancing? That seemed like it'll be more safer for you.
I feel like dancing is, I don't know, a burden to me. I don't like dancing. I like hustling. I like going. I feel like dancing is really not no hustle. You just shaking ass. All these songs, you ain't even got an amount is money for the songs. You feel what I'm saying? It's just, it don't add up to me.
It seemed like, you ever try to, it seemed like you probably make the same amount of money dancing as you do
Not really.
What made you say that? You never tried it?
I tried it before. I tried it a couple of times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like 3 times. It just ain't no cool money to me.
So how much was you making doing dancing versus this?
With like 700-800 dancing. With about 15 bands a night if you push it, shit.
For real?
Yeah. On a slow night, shit with like 700-800.
I thought I was gonna be in my first section today. I wasn't able to be in a section. I was in a section, but they never threw money on me. When I did my stage set, when it got busy finally, I did my stage set. Y'all tell why. I probably got $120, if that, on my stage. Not even.
And this is why when I say I wouldn't advise any new dancers, any baby dancers to start off dancing in Houston, y'all shouldn't come for me because I be knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. They suck dancers dry in Houston. Like, they literally take everything from you, bro. And the dancers here, they're so used to it that it's like they're accustomed to it, so they don't see no problem with it. But when you know different, when you're used to better, you can't settle for less. I've been to about 6 different countries to do this, and America is the only place, bro, that they do shit like this. Let me show y'all a little vibe and tell me if this makes sense to you. I was in the section, right? The niggas in the section got $20,000. Mind you, when you go to the club and you buy wands in the club, they take a percentage, right? They're only supposed to be taking 10-20% the most. These people taking $60 out. These people taking $40 out of every $100. So when you go to the club and you buy $100, you're really getting $60. After they take $40 out of every $100, when we get the money, right? After we get the money and we go back for them to count it, they get 10% off that same money. Mind you, I already paid to work at the establishment. I paid beforehand. I paid at the beginning of the night. I paid to work there. I'm even talking in fucking shambles. I'm so pissed, bro. The money we pay at the beginning of the night should be the only fucking money we have to pay to the club. That's what I'm used to. After I pay that money to work at the establishment, whatever I make should be mine. I shouldn't have to be giving nobody 10% off my bag, paying DJ fee. You're paying DJ fee to a DJ that does nothing for you. I could understand if they say, okay, tip the DJ or whatever, but they make it mandatory you have to pay a DJ fee. Now, back to me being on a $20,000 section. These niggas got $20,000, right? There's 5 fucking girls in the section. Do the math. Why the fuck am I coming home with $300? $300 off a $20,000 section.
Listening to these females, it really does just show you how much they've been accustomed to strangers, men, paying them money just to be able to do a little dance on the stage. What's interesting is they're actually angry at the strip club and the structure around it, because it's not mandatory for men to tip you, to pay you, or to do anything with you, but it is mandatory for you to do a DJ fee and to pay to dance. That's not men's fault. What a lot of females don't want to accept is that this whole industry is catered to men. So if you strippers are incapable of getting men to tip you, pay you, or give you money, then clearly you're just not doing your job. Don't get upset about anybody else that you failed to do your job. That clearly doesn't take no effort or real talent. So what are we really complaining about here? The fact that you have no ambition, no talent to do anything else?
You want to know what absolutely grinds my fucking gears as a sex worker posting on TikTok? It's the comments like, why didn't you just let him stay a bit of overtime for free? It's not going to hurt you to give him 10 minutes. Like, no, absolutely no, girl. And let me explain what I'm talking about when I say this. For those of you that follow me that are actual full service sex workers like myself, you will understand what I am saying in this video. One of the most important elements to maintaining your sanity in this line of work is boundaries, okay? Boundaries are the key to everything. Something that I have learned in the 2.5 years being a full service provider is that the second that you give a client an inch, they take a mile. I've been proved this time and time and time again, whether that be extended time for free, whether that be, doing short notice for them when you wouldn't normally, whether that be replying to a chit chat message on the phone. In any capacity, I have learnt doing my job, you give an inch, they take a mile. Another note here on boundaries is just for like mental health reasons, okay? As somebody who had to step back from the work and I retired due to my mental health and what was going on and the boundary pushing, etc., my therapist stressed to me that having boundaries is like so goddamn important, and I don't understand how that's so unclear to civilian women watching 304 Talk. It is so important for mental sanity that clients do not encroach on personal time, right? If I've got a fully booked day and I have an hour between each booking and one slot I have an hour and a half between, that may be the time that I'm eating. While I'm doing everything else I have to do to prep the room for the next person and prep myself, that may be my time to eat. It's not owed to a client that's not paying for it. The simple principle here is they book a time, they get that time. That is the trade-off here. If they want more time, they need to pay for it. That is the boundary of the service. Does that make sense? Some other things I want to note here too is there are a lot of sex workers who are actually in relationships, right? They have a partner outside of their work who knows about their work, but they may have different boundaries with how that will work for them and what they are comfortable with. I know a lot of sex workers who don't publicly say that they have partners. However, their agreement with that partner is that there will never be any sort of unpaid time. Everything is like to the line, like maximum 5 minutes overtime. Anything outside of that is a boundary for their relationship. And to me, this makes perfect sense. So you may be a client, going to see that provider and have no idea, but the reason why she's not staying to chat with you overtime is because that is a boundary with her partner. That is how they differentiate work and personal life interactions. I swear I could probably make a 10-minute video on this topic, but what I want to say is do not come on 304 Talk or Sex Work TikTok, whatever you want to call it, as a civilian woman who has never done this work and tell us that we should be giving clients overtime for free. I've seen this comment from other women and I have seen it from men. There was a guy I got in a fight with the other day about the same thing. We are never expected to give overtime for free. Some of us may choose to in certain settings. Sure, we might. It's not uncommon for me to go 10 or 15 minutes overtime on an extended booking, although I would never go 10 or 15 minutes overtime on a 30-minute booking for obvious mathematical reasons. Regardless of anyone's reasons for doing so, you are not owed overtime for free, okay? And implying so is like, it's very harmful to the industry. If a worker wants to do that, she can do that. But do not come into my comments section on a storytime video and tell me that I should have kept working for free, unpaid. Whether it is actual penetrative you-know-what, okay, or cuddles, or kissing, or just conversation, all of that is energy. The hanky-panky is not the only part of my job that consumes my energy, is what I'm trying to say. Standing there for 10 minutes of overtime, chatting to somebody while I'm trying to get them to leave the door, that is all my energy. And as an autistic person, I have a very limited supply of social interaction energy. Anyway, that's enough for today's rant. If I see it in future, 1, I'll be calling it out, and 2, I'll probably be blocking you, because just don't put your 2 cents in about shit you don't know jack shit about.
It's funny how she will say that she doesn't have enough social energy, but you have all the social energy to have a man penetrate on you. You have all the social energy to kiss and cuddle, all the social energy for hanky spanky. The average neurotypical person wouldn't find themselves in this lifestyle because they understand that it is going to emotionally, physically, and mentally drain you. You as a neurodivergent, you chose to sacrifice all of that because you clearly have little to no self-respect. You clearly don't have any real value to be able to do something more. So don't blame others for telling you to do your job.
5 brutally honest truths about being a midnight ballerina in the UK. Okay, the one that everyone wants to know Is everyone secretly like rolling around in the sheets and, you know, giving away the cookie? No. Especially where I work, it's like non-contact, so there is no giving away of anything at all, actually. And also, like, there's just no money in that. Realistically, how much is somebody going to pay for the cookie? Whereas they can pay for dances all night. Secondly, do people judge you? Yes, of course they do, all the time. Only if they know, though, hence why I do this and put things over my face. Because I've been not telling people for years and actually never been caught. Well, up until now, people are probably going to know now. Number 3, do you get exhausted? Yes, all the time. I'm always tired. I'll work one day and then the next day I'm just like asleep the whole day. Number 4, do you pay tax? Well, yes, everyone pays tax because all our money goes for our bank. And if you want to do anything with your money, you've got to pay tax, haven't you? So, yes, it's all taxable. Number 5, is it fun? Yeah, it's great. It's you can do whatever you want with it, you know. So if you want to go in and stay sober, I'm pretty much a sober person because I'm already falling asleep half the time. You can just go in and work. But if you want to go and you want to party, you want to drink with your friends, yes, you can do that.
It's always interesting to hear the perspective of these females in these type of lifestyle, because what this really shows is how men's priorities are actually changing in real time and how it's affecting females, especially in the underbelly of society. What I'm consistently hearing that hasn't changed is men are no longer spending money. And the only way for them to spend money is for you to give them more. What this shows me is not how entitled they only are, but how men have spent money for nothing. How most of the time, a lot of these sex workers, men will happily tip them and pay them for them just being there. It actually shows you how for years now, men have been very generous with their hardworking money. How men have been easily letting females to be easily accessible to their pocket. And now that they're actually creating their own boundaries, their own restriction for what they worked for, it's a problem. The reason why these females enter these industries is because essentially there's no real rules behind it. This is why you like to be in the underbelly of society. So adapt to the times. If you want more, you do more or you stay broke.